Hey guys, this is Chris Crazy House, and I want to talk a little bit about the passing of Chadwick Boseman. And I mentioned it a little bit on my other channel the day that it happened, but I want to talk a little bit about it here as this is more of a channel that's geared more towards art and animation and pop culture. So I want to talk about it here. First of all, just let me say condolences to his family, and it was just a real sad thing to see that. I was not expecting that or expecting to see that when I woke up on Saturday morning because I did not get the news on Friday. I actually saw it the day after I got up to do some editing work, and that story popped up, and it just shocked me. And it shocked a lot of people, and a lot of people were very sad and upset. And like I said, and some of my other posts on my other channel, if you have young children who are fans of the Black Panther movie, you might want to sit them down and have a discussion with them about that because it's that's traumatizing to a young child who, especially for young black kids who really didn't have any other superhero type characters that they could enjoy or look up to see that the main character, that actor, passed away. That's a lot. And even if they don't say anything to you, it might be hurting them on the inside and it might be bothering them on a deep psychological level. They might not even realize it as of yet, but it's gotten to them. So, people have been talking about that. A lot of people, for the most part, people have been paying their respects to Chadwick Boseman just as an actor. And, he's done so many great roles just even in a short span of time. He really made his mark when it comes to showcasing great acting ability. And I really appreciate that. As I said before, my favorite role of his actually was James Brown. I thought he did a phenomenal job playing the Godfather of Soul. So, if nothing else, if he had just did that movie, to me, he would have been legendary because I'm a big James Brown fan. I've watched a lot of footage of James Brown, and Chadwick nailed it perfectly. So, moving on to talking about Black Panther, there's a lot of debate on social media regarding whether Disney slash Marvel should just stop altogether doing the Black Panther movies, or should they move on, but move on either by passing the torch to a different character or giving it to finding a different actor to play the main character, T'Challa, aka the Black Panther. And I can see the argument on both sides of why people would want either one. Like for the people who want to see this go on, there are some, obviously there's precedent for T'Challa's sister Shuri taking over as the Black Panther because that's what happened. I guess maybe it was about 20 years ago, maybe, or maybe 10 years ago. I can't remember when. Was it 2007, 2008, where Shuri took over as the Black Panther? I remember there was a lot of fanfare around it, and people were. I liked the first couple of issues, but after a while, it just got kind of boring. But I thought, that was actually somewhat of a decent change. There's precedent for Eric Killmonger to be the Black Panther because for a while he was the Black Panther, and I believe he actually wound up dying from taking that heart-shaped herb or something like that later on. But there's precedent for that of Eric Killmonger being the Black Panther and actually working as a force for good. I think his character was a little bit more violent, but he was the Black Panther for a time. Actually, I want to say a year, if I'm not mistaken, at least a year. Eric Killmonger was the Black Panther. So they could do that. I know a lot of people are not a fan of doing that, like having a different character play the Black Panther. They kind of want to stick with T'Challa, and I can understand that. But there's also precedent for someone else just going ahead and playing the actual character of T'Challa. I've even seen some people put forth their idea of which actors they think could pull it off. Like I just saw today that Christopher Nolan uh, is his new movie Tenet. For I don't know if you guys have seen it yet or not. I really want to see it. I just haven't had a chance to, and I don't know if I really want to go to a movie theater at this point. But the main actor in that movie, I believe his name is John David Washington. Christopher Nolan was saying that he wants this guy to play Green Lantern, play like the John Stewart version of Green Lantern. I was like, that would be cool. But I've seen a lot of people put up his image. People have even photoshopped his image as T'Challa and replacing Chadwick Boseman as the Black Panther. And that could work. I mean, I think he's a decent enough actor. I don't know if he can pull off the accent, but we would have to see how that would go. But I guess it's possible. It's possible for him to pull that off. Who else have people said? Let me see if I can pronounce this brother's name correctly. The brother's name is Yahya Abdul Mateen II. For those who don't know, he played Black Manta in the Aquaman movie. He also played Dr. Manhattan in the Watchmen series. And my favorite character that he played, he was in The Get Down. He played the character Cadillac. And he was the coolest character in the show. I love that show. I thought he was the cool. He was still in the 70s music. He was the one being down on hip hop, saying it's not going to last. It's just a fad. And it's not as real as disco music. But I like that character. But I thought he did a great job. I think he's a very good actor as well. He has a very commanding presence. I think he could pull off the Black Panther if he can pull off a good African accent. And he can get the build. If you saw him play Black Manta, he can work out and get the build and get it that way. So there's possibilities there in that regard. Now, there are other people on the other side. I saw my homie, Sean James. He came out and said that he thinks they should discontinue Black Panther and just concentrate on some other black superheroes in the Marvel Universe. And that's possible to do that as well. And I can understand his reasoning saying, first of all, that, Chadwick did such a great job of playing the Black Panther. It might be time to just go ahead, in respect to him, to discontinue the Black Panther and maybe do some other superheroes. And one of the ones he named was doing Blue Marvel. And you know what? I can see that. I can definitely see a cool Blue Marvel story. And since that's the direction that things are starting to go more towards in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, we're having more cosmic stories and cosmic characters, Blue Marvel would actually be a great addition. He's been one of the best new characters introduced into the Marvel Universe. And he has a cool backstory. And I believe he was created by Kevin Grievous, if I'm not mistaken. You know him as the big, deep voice brother from the Underworld series. He's one of the co-creators of the Underworld series as well. A lot of people don't realize that. But yeah, he's been a behind the scenes mover and shaker in Hollywood for a couple of years now, as far as creating behind the scenes. But he's a star. He's been in a few movies as well. And he's the one that created Blue Marvel, and Marvel Comics bought it, or bought the character. And it's a very interesting character if you've ever read Blue Marvel's origin story. And I'm not sure if Marvel or Disney is going to want to put a character like this on the screen with that backstory. We'll see. Because, it's basically saying that you have this black man who's literally the most powerful superhero in the Marvel Universe, but he's kind of had to keep it on the low based on the government kind of asking him, like, we can't have a powerful black man out here doing the stuff that you do in the racial climate that exists now. You just cause complete upheaval if you do that. And they kind of, I mean, there's even some funny stuff with them keeping him pacified by giving him a white wife as well. So I don't know how that's going to play in a movie. But as far as the character himself goes, I think he would be a cool character to see on screen, just how powerful he is. Because he's just as strong and not more powerful than the Hulk. He's almost kind of like a Superman type character. I believe he even beat the Sentry, if I'm not mistaken. He could beat the Sentry anyway, if he wanted to. And I like the story they had. That's one of the few newer Marvel comics I like, where he was part of the Ultimates. It was like him, Black Panther, and even Galactus was a member of that team. They did some really cool, far out cosmic stories, and I like stuff like that. But yeah, that's a good case that Sean made for maybe just not having Black Panther, maybe doing some other black superheroes in the Marvel universe, and that would be cool. But like I said, it's a real shame that we lost Chadwick, especially to just be taken out by cancer like that. It's a sad thing to see any person, whether it be young or old, have to succumb to a condition like that. But once again, I just want to say I appreciated him while he was here. I thought he was phenomenal, and I appreciated his talent, and also learning more about his work with children who had cancer, or working with children who just had any other condition, and being so concerned about them as well, and giving his time to them. I can say I appreciate him even more just as a human being. So, I mean, that's all I had to say about that. You guys let me know in the comments section what you think and how Marvel should move forward with the Black Panther series. Anyway, this is Chris Crazy House signing out. Peace.